What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's new episode. Today's fighter breakdown is on Zhang Weili, current UFC female strawweight champion and first ever Chinese champion in the UFC. Now, I wanted to get into her upbringing, her story, and it is very inspiring to never give up on yourself, no matter what age you are. If you have a dream, pursue it and don't stop. So her journey began at the age of 3 years old. She was already obsessed with training martial arts and begged her parents to have her signed up for these martial arts academies that they have in China. Now, they are very expensive, and her family came from very humble beginnings. Her dad worked as a coal miner, and it was very hard for them to afford this type of training. It was very expensive, but they knew that Zhang Weili really wanted to do this, so they signed her up at the age of 8 years old. Now, it was still very difficult for Zhang Weili to find her way in the academy. The majority of the students were boys. I believe there was 400 students, and 20 of them were girls. Now, she was still obsessed with training every day. She would train hard. She would train kickboxing, sandan, wushu, tai chi, and she was absolutely in love with training. Now, this went all the way until she was 16 years of age, and that's when her parents have told her to start following different career paths. If they felt like the training martial arts wasn't going to provide her with the right amount of skills to have a successful future. So she moved from that academy and started training in Nanjing, China, where she started pursuing jobs. So she worked as a sales representative, a gym cleaner, a kindergarten teacher, and she was just hopping from job to job, really trying to find her way, but she felt lost at the time. She didn't know what to do. She was hopping from job to job until she found a job at a gym, and she saw that they had a boxing ring and there was an opportunity for her to train there. So she would go to work early, she would train and start putting in some work. Now, she was trained at China's top team, and she started getting some attention from a commercial director, believe it or not. And this commercial director is her current coach. It's like Karate Kid, bro. Seeing the potential in the fighter and telling her, hey, if you really want to do this, you're going to have to put your all into it. You're going to have to quit your job and go full time. And the commercial director, was trying to find her opportunities to find the first fight. They were looking everywhere and they couldn't find anything, any opportunity for her to get her first match. They even offered to pay other organizations for her to get a match, and no luck until they found one opportunity. They found a match, and Zhang Weili was able to have her first MMA fight. Now, she was very nervous. She was still working at the time and lost her very first match via decision. Now, this didn't stop her. This actually gave her more motivation to really pursue this. So she quit her job and started dedicating her life to training. This commercial director found her, took her under his wing, and she went on a 16 fight win streak. And in 2017, she fought 11 times in 1 year. Now, this gained attention from everywhere, and the UFC wanted her. They wanted her, and she made her UFC debut in 2018. Now, she won her first 3 fights and earned her a title shot against Jessica Andrade in 2019. Now, if you guys checked out that fight, I highly recommend you check that out. Absolutely bananas, bro. That crowd went absolutely insane for Zhang Weili, and that's when she became the first ever Chinese UFC champion. So in 2020, she had an absolute war with Joanna Jędrzejczyk and is regarded as one of the best UFC fights in history. And she won via decision, and it was an absolute rivalry between the two. And she felt like that really helped her grow as a fighter and develop that type of fierce competitiveness inside of her. And after that insane fight in 2020, she had her next opponent, Rose Namajunas, and she felt like a different fighter. She felt like she didn't have that edge, that fire, that desire that she once had, and she lost. She lost the title to Rose Namajunas via head kick, and she was knocked down. She lost via TKO, and she couldn't believe it. Even when watching the fight, you could see her shaking her head and not even realizing what had just happened. And she even considered retiring in the cage after that, and she felt very lost. Just think about all the things that she went through just to get to that point, and to lose the title in that way was devastating for Zhang Weili. And she was having a tough time, especially after the fight, dealing with negative comments and just seeing all the different types of criticism. She knew deep down inside that she could make a return to the title. So she was making her way back. She even had a rematch with Rose Namajunas and had a difficult time cutting weight and lost the rematch via decision. And she still had the faith that she could make it back and regain the title. And she did. And she regained the UFC strawweight championship, defeating Carla Esparza via rear naked choke, and won the title back. And, bro, we got to start putting some respect on Zhang Weili's name, bro. Even her last fight against Tatiana Suarez, she was considered the underdog as the champion. And she really showcased her performance, her wrestling, her grappling, and just pretty much outclassed her opponent. And personally, I find her story so inspiring. Just believing in herself, from being a kindergarten teacher, receptionist, working all these different types of jobs, to making it to the UFC. That's an insane accomplishment on its own. And to make a title run, to get the championship, and to lose it and to gain it back, it is absolutely insane. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and leave a comment. I really would appreciate that. And shout out to Zhang Weili, man. She's really the GOAT, to be honest. And they got to start putting some respect on her name, bro. Catch you guys on the next one. We out. Peace.